Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on our right side as the Wehrmacht player, we have Noob. Spawn as his Wehrmacht ally, we have Phil. Spawn on the left side as the US player, we have a $10 bag of something, or 10-pound bag of something. And Spawn as his teammate as the US player, we have Simply at River Fishing. Looks like US versus Wehrmacht. Of course, we do have a lot of Pioneer Explorer in the field. We've got a Wehrmacht quarters here and a Wehrmacht quarters here. We do got a barracks here and a barracks here. No weapon support center.
Pioneers ready for duty.
More Pioneers being deployed on the field. Wehrmacht quarters being built now. These Pioneers going pretty far forward, trying to play on a bunch of tank traps there, not wire. And he mentioned something beforehand, getting roadblocks, which, of course, neither of them Panzer Elite roadblocks. These are just regular tank traps. The Dragon's Teeth tank traps. Do not get the engineers and pioneers engaging at close range. And getting some good damage down onto the pioneers. The engineers not sustaining a lot of damage. In fact, this hardly took any sort of damage. In fact, the engineers somehow took almost no damage there, and the pioneers going to be forced back. Engineers now trying to get in closer range, and now they have the extra gun up and going. MG42 sitting on up, trying to get some good suppression. Do now have the pioneers. They haven't completed this tank trap here, so it can be destroyed with small arms fire, as well as large arms fire. I suppose nuclear weapons will also be effective versus the unbuilt tank trap as well. Do now have the engineers capturing up the VP, Volksgrenadiers trying to dissuade them. Engineers over here trying to flank the MG42, so does Riflemen. They have persuaded the MG42 to not be in the region. Schimwagen now advancing forward, trying to get some good damage onto the engineers, and these pioneers do get forced on back. Does get some damage there. Most of the roadblocks, the tank traps have been fully built, even right there. This could go a good line. He could perhaps deploy out more right here if he's concerned about vehicle advancements. Jeeps now receiving a bit of fire from the Schimwagen. Pioneers may come forward to support the Schimwagen. And we got a lot of players, both players over here. So Cyan will need a bit of help. Ask him if he's okay. Yeah, they don't really need to push too far over here. Not getting this munitions point, it does hurt a little bit, but overall, like this strategic point here, that's just not a resource sector. So it's not really a big concern. We got these Volksgrenadiers advancing forward, trying to get a good hits onto these Riflemen. And now these engineers do get knocked around and forced back. Rifleman squad advancing forward, Jeeps advancing forward. MG42 does get some good suppression there on the Rifleman squad, and we have the Jeep now advancing forward as well. Rifleman squad receiving a bit of fire there. Volksgrenadiers trying to stop the Jeep from being in the region. And this Volksgrenadier squad is behind a bit of heavy cover there. And this Rifleman squad does fall back. There's a US landmine there which could be detonated. Volksgrenadier squad does fall back. So we just got more pioneers up in this region, a little bit everywhere. Volksgrenadiers and MG42 now advancing forward. And we got this Volksgrenadier squad getting some good damage onto these Riflemen. Oh, the US players going a bit aggressive there with the machine gun emplacement. And this Volksgrenadier squad has received quite a bit of fire there. We've got two MG42 squad up by this player here, which could provide a good base of fire, but the problem is he just hadn't been able to set up a good base of fire. Rifleman squad has now received some volleys there. One Rifleman squad is still sticking around the heavy cover. It does get suppressed there. Not fully in cover there, so it's able to get suppressed.
Yes, sir.
Volksgrenadiers on the high ground, as well as these pioneers. Over here, we got this pioneers laying down some more tank traps there, really trying to sway his opponents from going up north. We do have a medic push his way forward as well, hitting up one casualty right now. And that one's getting hit first, but receiving a lot of misses there. Now receives a hit. The other one is still at full health as well. We got some more roadblocks of being placed on out. Jeep sort of soft reversing out of there. Rifleman squad does get suppressed there. We got this Rifleman squad being hit as well. We got the MG in placement, suppressing and forcing back this Pioneer. Now this Rifleman squad does get fully pinned there. We've got this Rifleman squad getting suppressed. And there's a lot of MGs in this region. Also, with the Shimvog as well, it just gets more MG sounds there. Jeeps and Rifleman and Flamer Engineer gain some good fire onto the Shimvogen and does get burned to death right there. MG42 now trying to stop these forces from advancing forward. Does not suppress either of these squads just yet. The Flamer Engineer is out of range, which is good for the Wehrmacht players. It looks like a Think Trap deployed out right there. Yes, he's trying to deploy out to Think Trap there with a Minesweeper. And Jeep make a good flank there. The Minesweeper does get fully wiped there. Flame Engineer does advance forward, getting some good fire onto the MG42. And now this Rifleman squad will get suppressed there. Won't be able to flank both MGs. And this Rifleman squad could get fully wiped right now. Nope, he does not get fully wiped. He managed to stay alive. Wait, there's a Jeep right there. Sniper almost went down. See a bit of fire there. We'll see some base MG fire, but not a whole lot of base MG fire. So we got the 30 cal in placement here. Maybe a good idea to go for a Grenade Warfer. A Grenade Warfer could do some great work all across this hedge line here, perhaps right here eventually as well. US players could also pull out their own mortars and put them along this hedge line. Another casualty being recovered. Not sure where the other medic is at the moment, but looks like he's out and about. Or maybe dead. Jeep now getting repaired on up. We got these forces advancing on forward. And now we do got a landmine being put out by the engineers. Jeep advancing on forward. And May will see some fire there. Oh, he's sniper hunting, I believe. Good damage there. Does find the sniper. The sniper can retreat across the bridge, but does make him a relatively safe retreat path. That Jeep is trying to hunt down the sniper. So far, it's been unsuccessful, but does get some good damage onto it. Volksgrenadier is advancing on, trying to get a good hit there on the Jeep. He could go for Panzerfaust, though the base MG is getting some great hits there, and there's a lot of fire on the retreat path as well. Damage to crit is very likely, but unsuccessful. Minesweeper does spot the mine.
We have defused the mines as ordered.
Now we do have a Grenade Warfer, as well as another MG42. Maybe a little bit too many MG42s. That's number 3. He doesn't have one deployed out himself. His teammate has deployed out 2. Rifleman squad is now advancing on forward. Could it be overrun by the Rifleman squad? Sniper does get a good hit there. He must be using medical crates onto him. And do got now Sniper deployed out by both of the Wehrmacht players. Rifleman squad does receive a fire there, does fall back. This Rifleman squad sort of just keeping their distance.
Sir, enemy in range.
Up north, we've got these forces advancing forward. That US landmine was spotted there by the Pioneer. There's a US minesweeper here, but the Wehrmacht landmine has not been swept yet or detected. So this Rifleman squad could find it. It does find it. And these forces do get suppressed there as well. Only the Flame Engineer is not currently suppressed. There's a Wehrmacht landmine right there, which could blow up his own forces. Grenade Warfer now raining on him. Does get a good kill there. Flamer does get suppressed, and the model up front does get killed off. The MG42 is almost destroyed. The flame bursts are not taking out the landmine at the moment. And now these Rifleman squads are being fully pinned, and now we do have the MG42 using medical crates there to get some healing. And does force them back now. Okay, we got these MG42s trying to be flanked. Does get a good suppression there on this engineers, and we do. And thank you for the follow, Blue NameOk. I probably butchered your name. Blue Namak. Probably. Probably not. Likely not. Volksgrenadier is advancing on forward. Jeep is trying to find the sniper. Does spot the sniper there, but goes too far in, and the sniper's safe out in his own base. I hear Panzerfaust firing. It may have been from those Volksgrenadiers trying to go for Panzerfaust onto the Jeep. Oh, that is the MG P-47 strafe run. Best keep them deployed on out in the field so he doesn't get them wiped out. You know, I actually never seen Dragon Ball Z. My parents said it was too violent when I was growing up, which is not entirely false. Do have now the Rifleman Squad force back. Pioneers advance forward, against good damage there on the Riflemen. And the Rifleman Squad does fall back. Minesweeper Squad may will fall back, get some reinforcements. Not going to do much without Minesweeper. Though it is pretty heavy, but you can't bash him over the head. Yep, the game I grew up with was honestly Age of Mythology. And renting games from the library like Age of Empires 2. Also the Harry Potter games. One of my old favorites was an old Interplay game called Tactics. Interplay was the same people who made it, created a Elder Scrolls game. The original ones, before Bethesda. Tactics was one of those early RTS, not player versus player, just you build tanks and send them off to your opponent. Just try to find some sort of way to play that game again. Old, fun, and probably I'd be really good at it because it's meant for, because I was young and probably did not really know how to play games. MG42 does get good suppression, not MG42, well, MG42 does get suppression over here, but the MG Bunker does get good suppression on the Grenadiers. Then you probably should lose some weight if you identify as a tank. Sorry about that one. Volks Grenadiers do fire from the heavy cover there. This Volks Grenadiers make a soft retreat away. MG42 is firing from the high ground, got a bunker being put on high ground. Identify as disease? Yeah, that was a horrible joke, the leopard disease. Leopardism. Volks Grenadiers firing from heavy cover there, getting some good damage on the riflemen. Sherman tank deployed on the field with a 50 cal. Ooh, I like seeing the Sherman tank. Grenadiers, Volks Grenadiers who fall back. Don't see Pack 38 deployed on the field just yet. There's actually one. We do got a half track as well. They probably may need to get out some more Pack 38s in a moment. This Wehrmacht player has selected the defensive doctrine, so let's go and cycle through each player to see which doctrine's been selected. This player has not selected doctrine just yet. Has a decent reserve of fuel. This first person has, of course, deployed out the airborne. How crazy would it be if both players go for airborne? Nope, infantry. Just call on a whole bunch of airstrikes and annoy your opponents with a whole bunch of airstrikes as a way to hit your opponent. We do now have the engineer trying to rush forward. Does get suppressed there from the Pinto Mount and does get wiped out. Landmine has been detonated. Oh, was that? Oh, what the? That was actually a massive lag spike, and that was an actual lag spike. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what actually caused that.
Artillery support is now available.
Your artillery support, so the M2 is now available.
We're done building here.
Stug on the way. You go for tier 4. Strafe run does connect somewhere over here. Or maybe that was just a recon run. Rifleman squad advancing forward. Got this rifle squad getting suppressed. And does get a good strafe run there. They may need... Oh, they do have a half track here for forward reinforcements. I was thinking like, oh, they could go for a bunker here for reinforcements, but half track's useful for that. And looks like the casualties have expired. Smoke, cap, VP. Looks like a Pazfalos does connect there onto the Sherman tank. Sherman tank's pretty close to death. Pack 38's getting multiple bounces there on the Sherman tank, and it does fall back in time.
Reporting construction complete.
Rifles, ready
Oh,
for
plus a
battle.
rifleman deployed out a landmine there. Let's see. Stroke has been deployed on the field. His course can win the conflict defensive. This player is the one that we don't know what doctrine just yet, so let's keep him selected. More smoke comes on in, but there's just too many riflemen in the area. 3 riflemen in the area. Half-tracks advancing forward. Gotta make sure you don't get too far close, or else they may rush forward with a sticky bomb. Grenadiers advancing forward. This could be a great time for a stick grenade. Does get out of cover there. Does also... The grenade didn't do much damage, but simply displacing them from that cover there allowed the half-track to suppress the forces, which is actually very important. Volkswagen's advancing forward, got a couple more medics pushing way forward as well. He probably got in a recent first squad, as he's and now these medics are being gunned down. Landmine was interrupted there. We do have the Sherman tank, multiple Sherman tanks now on the field. And he's one that's gone for airborne as well, so this is not sort of armor play. Well, it is armor play, but not armor reduction play. Pack 38 does find a shot there. Sherman tanks are relatively durable compared to most things in the U.S. arsenal. Folks Grenadiers get some good damage there onto the riflemen. Snipers at 14 kills. MG42 will get suppression off, trying to go for another frag grenade. Does get a frag grenade off there, but does retreat back the MG42 in time. Rifleman squad. He may or may not have access to sticky bombs, this player. Listen, not. Sherman tank is receiving some fire from multiple sources, and now we do got the battle phase with the player I have selected. Oh, full wipe there? Holy crap! I was not paying attention. We actually got that wipe. Rifleman squad looks like does manage to escape on out of there. Landmine here to play up by the rifleman. And Stokes getting some shots there. There's another U.S. landmine there as well, so multiple U.S. landmines in the center of the map. And it looks like this Sherman tank does find a landmine there. And will get repaired up by multiple engineers. 3 engineers should repair it up pretty quickly. And they're not even in combat. Oh, does spot that landmine there. Maybe a little bit too close with the detonation. Recon run does come forward. We'll spot a whole bunch of stuff.
They won't be able to face our firepower. Replacements fall in.
Sniper does fall back in time. We do have the Sherman tank, not the damaged one. The damaged one has been repaired. Got 2 Stugs out in the field. This player could go for Blitzkrieg just to get simply more manpower. Stugs now advancing forward. 1 Stug is quite wounded, or a little bit wounded. Both of them efficiency 2, of course. Sherman tank rolls bounce there. They are running low, losing VPs. They're still above half. The opponents still have 500. And this MG4 and this not MG42 engineer squad does get suppressed. More smoke does rain on in. Riflemen forming up for our big assault here. Flame engineers will spot the multiple grenadiers with Pantrix. And here comes a recon run. We may see a strafing run relatively soon. Nope, we do not see the strafing run there. And did that engineer just get fully wiped? I think the engineer may have got fully wiped there. Now got the M2 barrage running up to this base here. Snipers out of angle, or out of a barrage area. Stokes are advancing forward, trying to get some shots there on these riflemen. And the Volks Grenadiers do receive a landmine detonation there. This Grenadier squad does receive a bit of hits as well. And it looks like I got an off-net power shooting now raining on in. These rifleman squads try to advance on forward. No MG in this area. Does get a barrage, making up the crew pack 38. Rifleman squad over here is suppressed from the MG42 in this region. And he will manage to find a flank. Nope, does not find a flank there, but these rifleman squads advance forward, but gets annihilated by that artillery barrage. Rifleman squad does fall back tonight. These rifleman squads are suppressed. It does throw out a frag grenade there on the MG42. Does get 2 models there, but does fall back in time. Aftrack should be able to get some more suppression across these forces. Stug advances forward, finds a shot there, gets pentamount firing. And these rifleman squad, or one rifleman squad does fall back, the other one does fall back as well. And managed to try and charge forward, but the casualties have already expired. Except for this one here. May get done. This medic may go down. Just telling his teammate to keep trying for the VP. He could perhaps send over a Pioneer just down south just to be annoying. And there goes the half-track as well. Ooh. Yeah, charging forward with a half-track like that's not a good idea. He did great with the support on defense and reinforcements, but assault like that, no, that's not a really assault unit at this point in game. So we do have 3 M2s deployed on the field. His teammate has gone for defensive, so he has access 28cm rocket barrage. This guy's getting hit severely by the artillery. Now I do have a Panther deployed on the field. Panther's a good option. As much as I'm sort of tired of seeing Panthers all the time, that's a Nub Warfer, not a Warferman. Either way, the Panther would be a very good item versus the Shermans.
Veterancy gained.
And does get Veterancy 1 in the tanks as well. He does have a bit of munitions, so going for manpower blitz wouldn't be half bad. And if either player can go for some munitions caches, wouldn't be half bad, or observation posts on the munitions, I should say. Rifleman squad now advancing forward. Recon run. Low spot stuff. Good hit there from the Pack 38. Stug getting some repairs, sort of. Good hit there onto the Stug. Sherman tank received quite a bit of fire there. Stug may be able to get the knockout blow. Nope, he does get back around the hedge line. Pack 38 repositioning was always a good idea after it's got engagement, because you never know when there may be another artillery barrage. Snipers do get briefly spotted there. Machine gun placements has received a bit of fire there. Mortar hits in the region. May want to eye for a Grenade Warfare barrage. Oh, there's a Nub Warfare. As well as the MG42. No Wehrmacht landmines in this region. That is a US landmine. Panther does receive a bit of fire there. Nothing too significant. Rifleman squad advancing forward. Rifleman squad does throw a frag grenade there. Gets a good hit there on the Volksgrenadiers. And the Volksgrenadier squad does fall back now. Gets fully wiped there. And Grenadiers eyeing for a stick grenade there. And that is going to be relatively effective with a stick grenade. Sherman tank now advancing forward to support his teammates' infantry. That is a US landmine there as well. Bat bunker appears not to be upgraded if anything, though sometimes the repair bits tend to fall off. Nub Warfare barrage raining on in somewhere. Maybe over here would be great. Getting in this region there, there's even a munitions cache there. Very nice for the US players, but that will be destroyed. Rifleman squad does fall back there. Rifleman squad here does get forced back as well. Got the For the Fatherland activated. Rifleman squad space forward. Looks like they did manage to get a sticky bomb off on the Panther. Panther's almost dead. Needs one pen to kill it off. Does get another bounce there. Propaganda war forced back these forces. So he's gone for Terror Doctrine. I think Blitzkrieg would have been a little bit better.
They're hitting our base.
But that does also mean that both of the Wehrmacht players do have access to off-map artillery barrages, which is something very important versus those M2s. Got another recon run here. Rifleman squad may advance forward. Got a paratrooper AT gun there. Panther's still trying to make his way back. Sniper does fall back as well. This VP has been decaptured. Or fully captured by the Wehrmacht players. And now, lose the sniper for the M2 barrage, very nice. And now do have a Flak Panzer Ostwood. You only really need one Panther against these Sherman tanks. Now you can get some anti-infantry assets. Sherman tank now finds some rounds there. Sherman tanks could be upgraded to 76mm if they're having trouble with these Stugs and Panther. So maybe a good idea to upgrade them to upgun them. Nub Warfare barrage raiding in somewhere over here. I hear another Nub Warfare barrage as well. Some, what's the next name for them? Screaming Nemes? By the way, we do have the Nebels are hitting right here. I suppose Nebels wouldn't would be the correct term as well, because they're Nebel Warfare, so they throw Nebels. It looks like one of the players may have lagged out for a moment, but maybe not entirely, just maybe a lag spike. Those, of course, do happen.
We have 200 points.
More artillery barrages into blue space here. It does get a Pack 38 decrewed and may get it fully destroyed at the current rate. It does get it fully destroyed. You now have a 251 half track here. Oh, and there goes the Ostwind. Onto the M1AT gun.
Das Reich. Propaganda campaign is ready to go.
Yep, going for the Firestorm into the V1 wouldn't be half bad, just to deal with those M2s. Got another off-map artillery barrage here. This person's just getting pounded. Panzer Command's still a very safe location. The Wehrmacht quarters can go down. The Kriegswehr is still needed for Pack 38s.
Veterancy gain.
And he probably doesn't really have enough. Oh, I suppose he is getting some vehicle veterancy. The Kampfkraft Center has gone down for him. Do now have these Volksgrenadiers trying to capture the point. Will receive a deadly frag grenade there, and these Volksgrenadiers may be dead. Yep, they're dead. Over here, Panthers advancing on forward. Warferman barrage raining on in. That's not from Nebel Warfare.
They're losing territory.
And the Rifleman squad see a bit of fire there. Flame Pioneers advancing on forward. And we've got more M2 rounds raining on in. Now there's Nebel Warfare barrage. You can see it by the lingering incendiary effect there. M4 Sherman and Stug duking out once again. Mostly just bouncing off each other, though the rear armor is exposed for the Sherman tank. He'll be behind, helpful if the Stug just didn't miss. And the Rifleman will go and capture the VP. Multiple Warfermen have been pulled on out. And let's get a fresh Pioneer squad there. Maybe going for a fresh Kampfkraft Center. And since we now know each player's doctrines, let's go and take a quick look at everybody's resources at the moment. The US player, holy crap, that is a large stockpile of resources. 1,000 manpower, 215 munitions, and 210 fuel. This player is loaded and he's at pop cap as well, so I can't just say spend more produce resources. And now he's got level 2 production as well. So he's going to get more manpower. Warfman Barrage is getting some great hits there on that Sherman tank. Almost wipes it out. The other player, the airborne player, does have a small reserve of munitions and not a lot of everything else. Do we see munitions caches? Observation posts? Yes, we do. A lot of tank traps. Sticky Bomb does connect onto the Stug there. For this defensive player, we do have some good reserve of manpower, small reserve of munitions, and a good reserve of fuel. He's not the one who's gone for battle phase. He could pass the battle phase now to get out some tanks. Ostwinds wouldn't hurt. Panzers wouldn't be half bad either if you wanted something mix. Panthers probably not really needed. Does decrew the Grenade Warfare. I think Panzer IVs and Ostwinds would be a good idea at the moment. We do have a Nebel Warfare barrage right here. It does decrew one of the M1AT guns for the Nebel Warfares. And now the Rifleman squad is trying to pull out some heavy cover there. It does pull out heavy cover there. And now the Rifleman squad advancing forward. Does have a landmine here. Panthers and Stugs advancing on forward. And for the last player, has a small reserve of manpower, good decent reserve of munitions, saving up for a passive V1 strike or Firestorm, and does have a good reserve of fuel. Kampfkraft Center has been rebuilt and does force back the MG42. This MG bunker is still alive, so it has to take time to repair it up. Got casualty recovery station here, getting some casualties recovered. And we've still gotten, what, 2, 3 Sherman tanks out here, all of them upgunned with 50 cal. Very nice. So he spent quite a bit of munitions getting those Sherman tanks upgunned with 50 cal. It is get quite a bit expensive there, and he does deny his various doctrinal assets. Here, Nebel Warfare. So, yep, got a Nebel Warfare right there. Still a lot of holes in this player's base, and more holes being created. Rifleman squad's doing capture up that M180 gun. There's a lot of M180 gun squad on the field, so more Nebel Warfares are also a good idea, or Warfermen.
Under attack.
Defensive player could go for a Flak 88, even though there's a lot of artillery, and I probably generally oppose that. But Flak 88s are absurdly effective versus the M180 gun, so that could be a possibility if you just need to quickly destroy them off. Nebel Warfare Barrage raining on in once again. They just didn't they have a landmine there as well? And now we've got Warferman Barrages coming on with the Nebel Warfers. Joke's advancing on forward. Good damage on all this armor. It's getting softened up quite a bit. Those lose the AT gun there. And maybe just hit them more with more Nebels and Warfermen. That would be another way to take out the M180 guns. There's also a decrewed one down here. Rifleman maybe trying to recrew it. Those are US landmines there. And more US landmines. And more US landmines. M2's now raining on in. Those are trying to hit these repair bunkers. They're both quite wounded. Recon run does come forward. And let's give the US that airborne player selected, because that's the bit more volatile potential with all of the call-ins. Primarily the bombing run, strafing run, and recon run.
Sergeant, get an MG on the roof of this tin can. It's time to shred some crap.
There's currently 4 Sherman tanks spotted on the field. 2 of them make their way into the opponent's base. That is a Wehrmacht landmine, which does get spotted there. Of course, got the Panther over here. Stug's coming to hit those forces, but now the rear arm is exposed to a Sherman tank. So you have to be very careful when trying to respond to these Sherman tanks here. The damage almost backing on off. Sherman tank advancing on forward. Maybe trying to come in for off my power shoot. I'm not sure what it's trying to do. 3 Stokes are here. Now the rest of the Sherman tanks are along this flank. That's an M180 gun there. Got to make sure to get exposed to that as well. He's forced to advance on forward, trying to repair up the damaged engine on this one. There's no more bunkers here, so the rifleman squads can advance forward. And here comes a Warferman barrage here. These guys are sort of pinned down there, loses all the engineers there, blows up his own that landmine as well, which also probably contributed to destroying off those forces. Now we've got the upgun Shermans as well. Panther tanks are advancing forward, but there's a lot. These Sherman tanks are all wounded. Got 2 of them with engine turrets there. Does force retreat back the rifleman squad. There's still an M180 gun here, not really firing properly. Does take out one Sherman tank here. This one does not have the engine crit there, just floor it. And now the Panther is flooring it as well. This Sherman tank, however, is still firing against this infrastructure. And now Stokes is trying to rotate around a safer angle to engage that Sherman tank. Perhaps attack move 1 over here, attack move 1 right here to make sure the Sherman tank does get pincered. Panther's rear armor is exposed. That is very important. The Sherman tank's quite wounded, but the Panther's also quite wounded, which is very, very iffy for both sides. Panther gets the kill there, though. Sherman tank, or Rifleman squad does fall back. After these repair engineers trying to repair up these Stugs. And gotta make sure you don't crush the carcass. You could salvage that for some munitions. Nebel Warfare raiding a barrage somewhere over here. Trying to hit this. Yep, he's trying to hit that M180 gun. Oh, that was not a Nebel Warfare shot. Nebel Warfers, they're always really hit or miss. Same with Warfermen. I just don't really like how the fact that they just... Ooh, there goes that squad. I don't really like how the fact that those units, in my mind, they just tend to be really miss or miss, and all of a sudden they do really, really well. Then again, that probably was a max range barrage. Rifleman squad does get fall back now. And was his HQ was fully destroyed here? Let's select him. Or is he trying to repair it up? No, his build is still up and going, so the HQ is not fully destroyed. Oh, we also got some nice crossholders here. He does not have enough command points for the V1 just yet, but he is approaching enough munitions for it. Fresh Paradrop M1 AT gun here. We've got the howitzer now receiving hits there from Stugs. He's going for some sticky bombs there. He may lose these Stugs entirely. And there's the 20cm barrage there. I think he blew up his teammate's Stug there, but I think that's worth in the end. And now here comes the Warframe barrage raining on in. Oh crap, that was going right there, isn't it? Nope, it's going forward here. That's getting some great hits on the repair engineers. That's one great way to bleed off manpowers from your opponent. And PA commandos were on opposing fronts. It looks like he finally replied back to you. Tales of Valor was the Tiger Ace and the Fillet's Pocket and the... what was the other one? The Causeway. That's where you get those commando missions. We do now have these rifleman squads. We've seen a bit of fire there. Stugs advancing forward as well. Got the M1 AT gun being fully destroyed by a miss. Now got these riflemen trying to engage these pioneers. Rifleman is pursuing these pioneers as well. And we've got propaganda war forcing back both those riflemen, but does still force back the pioneer. As crossbows advancing forward, of course got the landmine here. And now we do have the Knights crossbows falling back. The landmine looks like was detonated. Sherman tank may receive some fire from the Stug. It does have a sticky bomb there onto the Stug. Something else we pull out by this command, Pat's command, it is another Knight's Crossholders getting up to 2. He may want to get some more veterancy on his infantry. It's going for heavy amounts of Knight's Crossholders. We do have, of course, the King Tiger available. I still love how, in all these Relic games, they still have trouble with UI audio lines and never replace them after they get replaced. Because that's still the Tiger Ace icon. It's definitely not King Tiger icon there. They never bothered creating King Tiger icon, did they? But it's there onto the rifleman. And this rifleman squad does get pinned and forced back. There's a drop bar as well. Summer really dropped the bar. Warframe barrage raining on in somewhere over here. These are great AoE damage. There's a recon run or straight run of some sort. And we got Nebula for barrage raining on in as well. There was a lot of artillery there. Let's speak of artillery. We got more artillery raining on in. It is the... wait. That was a 28cm rocket barrage. They were right from there, so we got Firestorm as well. Wait, what? That was that Firestorm or 28cm rocket barrage? Was that both? That was both. Okay. There goes a Stug. Panther does receive a sticky bomb there. Damage and crit. Rifleman squad is suppressed there. M1 can see a bit of fire, but the Panther should be able to keep on out there. Rifleman's capture up these points. Now we've got the King Tiger to pull on the field. Based on a lot of replays I see as well, it's best not to repair the King Tiger. It takes so long to repair up. Just deploy it out, let it absorb fire, and let it just sort of just die. Don't really focus on repairing it, just let it keep on pushing forward. Use it as a meat shield. Warframe barrage now raining on in. That's a lot of Warframe. Does take out the M1 AT gun. Now I got a Nebula for barrage there, taking out the M1 AT gun, but not fully destroying it, though the gun it's getting singed. And M2 barrage raining on in. This one bunker has gone down. This bunker is severely wounded. Now it's fully down as well. So they're starting running low on repair bunkers. Got a casualty recovery bunker here. Is that a bombing run, or is that an off-map artillery barrage? It is off-map artillery barrage. More Nebula Warfare has been pulled out by this player. So take a quick look at everybody's resources. We got a fresh MG placement there as well. Still a massive reserve of resources, but he has consumed his munitions reserve. But he has plenty of manpower and fuel to throw his opponent. For his teammate, we do have a small reserve of munitions, good flow of fuel, and no munitions or manpower. No munitions really in reserve. Over here, we do have the not a lot of resources whatsoever. MG placement now we're seeing a lot of fire from the Warframens. And looks like the MG placement's not down just yet. The Panther could rectify that, and when gun does find a shot there. And for the person at the King Tiger, we do have a small reserve of manpower and fuel, but nothing much else. MG placement does go down. We got 30 cal here, and that is actually a fully built 30 cal or one from an off-map combat group, because that is a 30 cal model and not one picked up by the air resupply drops. Panther does see M1 AT gun does see a direct hit there. Panther does have a bit of health remaining, reinforcing these AT guns. AT guns are both severely damaged, at least the gun. Reference squad does fall back. Line mine detonation there found by the Knights crossholders. And I hear Nebel Warfare barrage is raining on in. Getting some decent hits there. Warframen barrage raining on in, getting a lot of damage on these forces. Rifleman squad is advancing on forward. Nice crossholders have captured the fuel point now. And now we've got these Grenadiers advancing forward as well. Rifleman squad's receiving a bit of suppression there from the MG42. And now, oops. Nice crossholders advancing forward. Trying to get a good kill there onto the M1 AT gun. Nice crossholders, however, gets annihilated. Panther's facing forward. The Panther is way too wounded. Needs to fall back. About ready to go down. This King Tiger's facing forward. Does get a good kill on the Sherman King. Panther does receive a bounce there. You need a pen in order to kill off a unit. Bounces just leave your unit with not dead. And if it does do damage with the bounce damage, it does leave it at 0 health. Literally. Nice cross for Volksgrenadiers have picked themselves up a bar. Rifleman squad getting ripped apart by the Volksgrenadiers. There's also a landmine here as well. These Warframens are slowly picking apart these weapons. Rifleman squad is getting overran and will likely get wiped out relatively shortly. Does get wiped out there. Volksgrenadiers trying to stop this Rifleman. I see a lot of bunkers brought up by Magenta. Quick look here. We've got 2 repair bunkers, 3 repair bunkers, 1 casualty recovery bunker. King Tiger was getting some past repairs from those bunkers. And now we've got this mortar squad receiving a bit of fire as well. Rifleman squad does get forced back. Knights crossholders advancing forward. Nice crossholders. Okay, that mortar team does go down there. Got the 2 barrage raining on in. Those are the off-net power shoot. And the Warfman barrage raining on in, taking out some of these M1AT guns. At least one. At least gets decrewed. King Tiger is pretty repaired up. Or I'm not sure. The Panther may have went down. That is the same Panther that has 7 kills, so that Panther has been fully repaired. Another mortar team deployed on out. That may be from off-map combat group. The airborne player may want to pull off a little bit. His teammate should still have quite a bit of reserve of resources. Yes, he does. So if he allows his teammate to be aggressive and spend his resources, the airborne player could take time to recover. Because right now the airborne player, he's low in manpower, doesn't have a whole lot on the field. The airborne player should play defensive. The infantry player should be aggressive. And the infantry player should actually IO a cache onto that munitions sector. He has plenty of resources to spend. and his teammate and himself could use that munitions. Panther now reversing into his opponent. Stroke does go down. Panther does not receive any rear armor hits there. That was just a frontal armor pen. And now the Panther's receiving a bit more fire there. Warfman and Barrage raining on in, hitting these weapons. The AT gun does go down as well. Fire tank does fire a fire shot there on the rifleman. And now we do have a firestorm being brought on in this region as well. We got a Greyhound here. I think that was from the off-map combat group potentially. Grenade was thrown on top of those rifle squad from the Grenadier. There's another machine gun placement in this region. Machine gun placements do not consume population, so going for them it could be quite nice. Thickness placements can, but not the 30 cal machine gun placement. Good hits there with the Nebel Warper. And that machine gun placement will be burned to death. And the Grenadiers may get burned to death as well. I think I see more Nebel Warpers raining on in this region. Oh, it looks like just the Warpermen. Lots of Warpermen. Though, spreading, getting good damage from all of them, but not taking out any of them. Knights Crossholders advancing forward. No additional vectors here on the Knights Crossholders, and that one will get decrewed. The gun itself is almost destroyed. Now here comes another Warperman barrage. Sherman takes now advancing forward. Trey gets hits there on the Knights Crossholders. Does get a hit there onto the Sherman tank. Also got a Nebel Warper barrage here, or maybe it's a Firestorm. Good hits there on the King Tiger. King Tiger's getting forced on back. Vet 3 Sherman tank received massive damage. Panther tank maybe will take out that Sherman tank. Rolls a miss there. And Mon AT gun getting some good hits there. The Knights Crossholders put advance forward for Panzerfaust. Does not take out the Vet 3 Sherman tank. Rifle squad still advancing forward. There's those Warfermen, and maybe Iron Barrage again. MG42, Volkswagen trying to secure this point now. More Warfermen Barrage here. Even though there's not destroying 2 of those guns, this one is nearly destroyed as well. That Rifleman squad does fall back.
Down to 100 points.
Good hit there on the Rifleman. And we got a fresh squad of Airborne being pulled on out. I thought maybe the first squad of Airborne. Look out, a Flak 80 here. Off-map parachute raining on in. He's trying to go for some tank traps here, but the off-map parachute could annihilate those Pioneers. Annihilates the Volks Grenadiers, or it's the MG42. One Pioneer model squad does go down as well. And now that's definitely off-map combat group Hellcat. Does get an AT gun, MG, and a Hellcat there. I'm not sure what was his 4th squad, but that's still a pretty good off-map combat group, probably. Good is there onto the Hellcat. Hellcat now receiving massive fire. Hellcat gets a main gun destroyed, crit there. Can't really spot until it dies, but this Hellcat gets destroyed into crit there. Rifleman trying to go for a sticky bomb there. Greyhound advancing forward. I don't think that's going to do much for the King Tiger. So it could charge forward for a landmine. Does manage to escape that artillery barrage there. Does get a sticky bomb onto the King Tiger. King Tiger is severely wounded, gets a fully immobilized crit there, but it's in a relatively safe position to be repaired up. Greyhound advancing forward, trying to get some spotting there. Do got a recon run there. And maybe trying to eye a barrage on top of this King Tiger. Does not, just now has enough munitions for the bombing run, so maybe that recon run came in a little bit too early. Black 88 rotating around, will fire a shot on the aircraft. And the aircraft, the bombing aircraft got shot down. He stopped the bombing run there with the Flak 88. The Flak 88 actually did its job. Now we've got the off-map power shoot onto the King Tiger, which takes it out. So that luck of actually shooting down the bombing aircraft was not really impactful, but still unusual to see of that actually stopping a strafing run. Rifleman squad does receive a bit of fire there, and does use a the propaganda war to force back the Rifleman Squad. Pioneer or Panther getting repaired on up. The Wehrmacht players do not have a lot of VPs remaining. And the Rifleman Squad does fall back now. Panther severely wounded, needs a lot of repairs.
The enemy is after our victory.
Recon run. Could go for some additional veterancy on the Panthers. Another recon run, but no munitions for anything else for quite some time. As cross quarters advancing forward, we'll need to fall back sooner rather than later. We have another Greyhound here, could have been another off-map combat group. And here comes a massive Warfman barrage here. Takes out the Greyhound there, as well as its engine. Nice cross quarters may get some damage there. There's a lot of smoke in the region. See now, the airborne player does not have a lot of manpower nor munitions. That's all spent. Fuel, of course, is going to be plenty for the rest of the game. Nice cross quarter, receiving quite a bit of fire there, may need to fall back. The infantry player still has a large reserve of forces, so he can be a bit suicidal in his forces. Airborne and Rifleman squad getting suppressed by the MG bunker. And capture up this bunker, or this point, it is actually important. The Wehrmacht players do not have a lot of VPs. The defensive player does have a good reserve of resources of everything, including munitions, enough to call in his 28 centimeter rocket barrage right here. Gets this one decaptured there, and takes out that airborne squad, but they're still double captured against them. They do not have the VPs to play around with. And the what's it called? The air doctrine player does not have access to, has not selected his V1 attack, got his V1 ability yet. He should have enough command points for it. So he could go out and start calling that in. It's definitely much more cost effective than the Firestorm. But of course, it does have an incredibly long cooldown. Sherman tank now being engaged by 2 Panthers. He currently has 2 Panthers as well as a Flak Panzer Ostwind. Needs some good hits there on that Sherman tank, that 3 Sherman tank, but does receive some hits there from this M1AT gun. Over here, 30 cal does force back the Knights Crossholders. And something got blew up there. Not sure what it was though. Black Panzer Ostwind in more of a defensive position. Panthers advancing on forward. Sherman tank gets a good hit there onto the Knights Crossholders. Another recon run. I do like to see the fact that so much recon runs there. It does provide a lot of good spotting. And the Knights Crossholders trying to decrew that AT gun there. As Crossholder will get wiped out by the Sherman. Warfman barrage in this area. Not sure there was much there. And now there's even less there. Rifleman going for more landmines, very nice. Let's switch over to the infantry player. He still has a lot of resources. If the allies need to make a power play, he himself needs to make a power play. His teammate is just running low on resources, barring fuel. The infantry player has a massive reserve of resources. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be a bit more suicidal, honestly. Got another Warfman barrage in this region, or Nebel Warfare barrage onto the M1AT gun. Rifleman squad could eye a sticky bomb onto this Panther. They do get a sticky bomb on the Panther. Now do also have some 2-3-4s put out by the defensive player.
What are my coordinates?
Okay, done building.
Warfman barrage raining on in. We'll miss a whole bunch of nothing. Rifleman squad advance forward. Does get some damage on the Grenade Warfare. And there is a fresh Flak 88 here. Off-high power shoot raining on in, hitting the Flak 88. Rifleman squad is falling back as well. Up north, we've got these forces advancing forward, trying to clear up this region. Wait, was that a demolition charge thrown by the engineers? I believe that was a demolition charge thrown by the engineers. Very, very nice. I like seeing those little bit unusual abilities being utilized like that. And I think he's trying to cut some of this wire as well. Volksgrenadiers engaging forcing back those engineers. This engineer squad may try another demolition charge onto this bunker. Let's get some flame bursts there, and here comes a demolition charge, right? It may be on cooldown. I honestly can't remember what the cooldown is on those things because you never see that ability. Does use for the fatherland there, braving the fire, and he does force him back. Now there's a big hole here. Rifleman squad's getting some good damage on this munitions cache. And this munitions cache will go down. This one's demolition charge should be not on cooldown because it was not the one that's thrown there. But we've got a good Neb Warfare barrage here. For the fatherland has been activated once again, forcing back all these units. We've got another fresh off-map combat group here. Getting himself a MG, a Greyhound, and a Hellcat. Not bad. Oswin, we're seeing massive amounts of fire there. Oswin is about to go down. Will likely go down to the Sherman tank. Eventually, the Sherman tank takes no prisoners. Sherman tank getting some good hits there onto this Panther as well. And the Panther does get forced on back. Another Neb Warfare barrage, or Warfman barrage onto this region. And does decrew the AT gun. This other one's severely wounded. Got off my power shoot running on in. I think onto this Flak 88.
Front shifting. Routes are grabbing territory for us.
And M2s do try to fire some volleys in this region. You know, I don't know where the off my power shoot is actually raining on in. Right there. As Crossroads Island has captured the central VP, the allies are slowly bleeding down. The Axis players do have a solid grasp in the game right now, even though they do have less VPs. Overall, they feel like in a better position, in my opinion. Hellcat now advancing on forward. Greyhound here trying to come over support. We'll see if Panzerfaust fire.
Gassed up and good to go.
He does have enough munitions for off-my power shoot. He just spent munitions there, so he doesn't have enough munitions for off-my power shoot. Fresh Oswin here. They're currently Vector C2. Hellcat and Greyhound making way forward. Does get some good hits onto this HQ. He does have a Kampfkraft Center and a Panzer Command. Nothing else. Those artillery barrages have been quite deadly against him. Fresh Knights Cross holders deployed on the field, and this Knights Cross holder is falling back. That is a US landmine there, I think deployed out by the Greyhound. The Knights Cross holder got lucky that it missed it. Otherwise, it probably would have been wiped, either by it or by the follow-up shots from the Greyhound himself. Knights Cross holder sort of dancing around, and it does go down. FLA further up to hit AT. Oh, Flak, Flak. The flak emplacement, I guess. Trying to hit those. Panther does get some good hits there on the Sherman tank. Sherman tank's here's one to die. Hellcat getting some great hits there on the HQ. And now the Panther needs to start getting some hits on the Hellcat.
What's our plan?
Rifle squad receiving quite a bit of fire there. At this point has been decaptured. 30 cal trying to dissuade that nice crossholders from being in the region. And now the Panther's engaging. HQ is almost down. Let's switch over to him. Oh, enemy target destroyed, which means Cyan. The other one. It's not actually, no, it's not actually destroyed. You can see here, all his abilities are still up. So he actually did save the HQ. He can still calm abilities. He's trying to go for some more pioneers. Good as there onto the Greyhound. More engineers and rangers being deployed on the field. These are landmines believed deployed up by the Greyhound. Medic is recovering some casualties as well, and does use propaganda war to force these guys back. The Panther can find these landmines, but it's in a relatively safe location, and does not get an instant crit there. In actuality, it didn't seem like it took a lot of damage from the first landmine, but does find the second one there. Gets damage and crit there. Nice crossholder may get wiped out by the 30 cal, but now it's in point blank range. It should be able to get that decrew. And this Warfman barrage is raining on in. That was. Those off-map abilities were not needed. I don't know why. That's just like, that's a little bit overkill. The Panther was nowhere near going down. M2 howitzer barrages on the Flak 88. And we do now have a fresh airborne being plotted here. Does use fired up to prevent suppression there, but does use propaganda war to stop the airborne squad from being there. Does take out the Sherman tank there, very nice. And Worfman does connect on his own tank there, or his teammate's tank. Nope, it's his own. Oh no, that's the Nebwarfer, not Worfman. Does get some good damage there onto the M1AT gun with that Nebwarfer.
We have lost a unit.
He is really not happy, is he? Does take out the M1AT gun there. Also one advancing forward. Also one does go down once again. He must have been really unhappy. He's sort of confused about his teammate. Oh, one of these players looks like I've backed out of the game now.
Load me! Get another belt in there!
And
Rangers here.
going fast forward. Maybe he's not back to the game. It's hard to say. Both players are sort of just backing off right there. AI's taking over one player. Go for the M2 barrage there, but this player does not want to back out of the game just yet. Still quite a bit of force here, but since the game is pretty much over if one player's back to the game, I'm just going to fast forward through the rest of it. Hellcat from off my combat group gets quickly killed off there. These Warfmen are falling back.
Enemy unit down.
Nebwarfers do rain on in, main gun destroyed, crit there. Greyhound may actually take out the Shug, does take out the Shug there, relative rear sight. Looks like another off-map combat group there. Black Panther also receiving quite a bit of fire there, but does get some good damage there, but the Hellcat does go down. And I hear the V1 rocket strafe. That could have, oh, there's dead Panthers there. It just looks like a bunch of weird stuff there. But the V1 strike may have... Not sure where the V1 strike landed. Either way, the game's pretty much over. I'm just gonna fast forward the rest of it.
Base forces are taking casualties. Stand firm, allies.
Oh,
Battle is ours.
the allies are actually pulling more VPs, so the AI is doing reasonably well. Just throwing a lot of massive opponent. One of the Workmen do go down. Let's take out the AT gun there and a frag grenade there. Trying to capture this point. And propaganda war does force back these squads. That looks like the off-man power shoot there. Does capture this VP. Greyhound's advancing forward. Of course, neither player's armor, so the Greyhound can't capture. Just two Greyhounds here now. And the person who's gone for infantry had that big reserve of resources and now has consumed that reserve. Center point has been decaptured. Got the close rifles getting some damage, but there's a Vet 3 Flak Panzer Ostwind, which will basically stop any sort of infantry advance, barring the M1AT guns. The Flak 88s, however, will stop the M1AT guns from existing. Draper does connect. Rifleman does capture this point there. No, this game is actually much closer after the AI took over. Also, when advancing forward, the central VP has been captured by the allies. Black Panther also is trying to deal with these AT guns there. Having been trouble dealing with the gun itself, does get the decrewed there, and the point does get decaptured by the Volksgrenadiers. But I think the allies are now ran out of steam, and the other allied players now back to the game. And cast the GG, and who's back has been kicked out of the game? What? Wait, and then the AI took over for this player? Wait, what? How did he get kicked out of the game? Either way, this is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.